and let us all do we can to build a better future.
Daniel, you got a story for the people. What is going on?
So I got one of those, like, what are we doing here stories. So I feel that when we get into this video, I'm going to kind of prep everyone for this.
Okay.
The Fox News video, they're talking about how terrible it would be if Kamala and Gavin Newsom ran in 2024 and that they're leaning towards that. I want your opinion at the end of this story on what I'm about to say. And this is from Case Study.
Okay.
Clipping this. I think this is completely everything they're saying, they mean the opposite. I think every part of this, they mean the opposite. Because they're basically like saying, oh man, I hope the two most terrible, unpopular people don't form a ticket and run against Trump. That would be terrifying. We're quaking in our boots. It's too woke. It's too progressive. If they do that, oh no, we would be terrified if these people ran. That's the feeling I get when I saw this story. And I just want to, when we're watching this together, I would like everyone at the end of this to kind of agree or disagree with me.
All right.
Let's take a look.
Kamala Harris and Gavin Newsom are engaging donors in what appears to be perhaps preparation for a potential White House bid if Joe Biden doesn't run. Leo Terrell is with us now. Leo, tell me, is a Newsom-Harris ticket a winning ticket?
No. Absolutely not. But let me tell you right now, they are running for president because Joe Biden is not going to run after the midterm. You can save this tape. Let me be as clear as possible. Newsom is the worst governor in this country. Crime, homelessness, critical race theory. But that's not a prerequisite.
One of these things
he's woke.
doesn't belong with
he's
the other,
woke
but they're just
progressive.
buzzwords.
And all the candidates who are running are woke. You had that comment with Jim Jordan. 90% of America believes we're in the wrong direction. The progressive left doesn't care. They think they know what's best for us. So he is running. He gets a free.
I want to say this. Okay, I'm going to say he just contradicted himself on himself to himself.
Okay.
The progressives don't care. Also, the progressives are actively moving in a certain direction. You got to pick one, buddy. One, can't do two. You can do one. You can question whether one or the other is true. That's like saying this paper right here is both in the air, staying in the air, and moving around and touching the ground at the same time.
Fox News. Hold on, before we play it. Fox News, the only media outlet that might occasionally say something smart, but then when they're playing football, they drop trowel in the middle of the field, throw the football down to the ground, and take a crap and say they did a home run. There we go. That's Fox News. Let's play the rest of the video.
Free pass because he's going to win re-election as governor. Notwithstanding that, he is running for the presidency.
Yeah, but what's he going to say? Look, everyone, you know, so many people left my state because they were fed up with high taxes and regulation, but I can bring that to the country. I mean, is that the message?
Let me tell you right now, this guy, Gavin Newsom, Ash, is in denial. He thinks he's running a great...
I love the fact that they're like, you know what made California weak? Regulation that made it one of the largest economies on the planet. On its own. The most prosperous by GDP standards state out there. You know what's not the issue? You know, the fact that California's sort of been, like many cities that are within these states, is based on a free flow of business that got shut down during the pandemic at the same time that they had Gavin having some of the most restrictive and hypocritical pro-business lockdowns, quote-unquote lockdowns, because they really weren't. Remember, having 500 people in one Walmart is much safer than having 5 people in 100 small businesses. That's the important thing to remember in California. I mean, it's not all these other things that are happening. It's not a black. It's definitely it's a gray area of many things going wrong in California that have culminated by that have some good and some bad. But you know what it isn't? As simple as the buzzwords that they're putting out there. And again, always got to shout out to Fox News because they always do this perfectly. Fox News is like, hey, we're hitting someone that's a Democrat that's a minority. Get one of our guys that could kind of match the hues and just put him up there.
Yeah. And of course, he said critical race theory first, so it's all good. So there you go. Let's play a rest.
By the way, I love that, where he's like, let's also throw in critical race theory. Why? Because we've been telling people to fear learning for a while, and let's just do it. All right.
Economy in California. Fox shows crime every day in California. Critical race theory, open border, abortion on demand. All those things are unpopular.
I pause it. I love that I hate that it happens, but I can't help but like be impressed by like how Fox News spins things into existence that don't exist. Critical race theory is bad. Oh, you mean teaching people about history? That's really bad. No, only WASP history is allowable. Anything else is unacceptable.
Yeah,
this is a thing that's so important that we're going to talk about it for a year, even though it doesn't really exist.
Yes, the Puritans. I mean, the Pilgrims brought democracy and freedom here. Yeah. The Puritans. Oops, I mean the Pilgrims. The Pilgrims. Yeah. Those guys. Don't look into their history too much. It's fine. It's fine. Let's play the rest.
90% of the American public. That will not stop Gavin Newsom. You got Kamala Harris, the most incompetent vice president ever, selected only for identity politics. What has she done? What has she accomplished?
We've had
will that stop her from running? No. Why? She's woke.
I'll give this one a pass.
To be the Democratic nominee in 2024, you have to be woke. And the reason why Joe Biden is not running, because he's not woke enough. The progressives have kicked Joe Biden to the curb. Yeah. Game over for Biden. He's
not even woke himself, literally. Okay, Dan, they don't believe anything that they're saying.
Nothing saying.
What they are is they're hoping that some dumb jack-off liberal think tanker person will be like, yeah, Fox News is afraid of Kamala Harris and,
it's gonna be Newsom. I'm telling you, that segment and the other ones that they're going to do, that because they have to keep amplifying that message, there's going to be some a document made by some think tank that's like, yeah, we should do this. They're worried about it. It's a component that we factored in.
And
I love that they're like...
Somebody's going to probably report to... Probably with the remnants. I don't know how many people still work for Kamala Harris because a lot of people are banning her team. Probably someone's reporting what's going to... Fox News is afraid of her, and she's like... You don't get yelled at by me today. I heard some good news. Fox News is afraid of me. Again, 0 delegates. Kamala Harris got 0 delegates and was destroyed by Tulsi Gabbard not once, but twice.
Yeah, twice. All you have to do to destroy Kamala is quickly mention her history.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of which, I found this great video. Turns out, Kamala has this history of always being in the shadows, always being in the background, never once ever really standing out. She's not original. Not original at all. No. And look, if that offends Vote Blue no matter who, hey, her campaign went bankrupt. Daniel did an entire coverage story on it way back at the old studio about how incompetent you have to be for your campaign to go bankrupt before the first primary vote was even passed.
I'm just going to end on this. Kamala, and then she will go Allah. That wasn't as good as it was in my head.
She's gonna bye like that. There you go. That's it. That's the real truth about Kamala Harris.
I do hope, though, to go with Fox News, as long as we get someone else to counter it. Yeah, run. I support the ticket myself for the same reason Fox News does.
You know what? Here's the thing. Hold on. I'm gonna say something controversial in 3, 2, 1. Trump, look, you got this whole field of a bunch of jag-off politicians. Do some workouts. Look at the history. Find some great jokes. Roast these people. I want to see the Republican primary. I want to see Trump just yelling and really breaking these people down. I hope he has a good bag of material. 2016, he had some good stuff. 2020, he kind of flatlined. Get your game face on, because I want to see people have a mental breakdown of Trump running again. Yeah. I have to see that. I want to see that because I want to see people just lose their critical thinking and just Trump.
I love that. But I love all the Democrats that I know that I'm not allowed to say Trump's name just because the name triggers them. Mm-hmm. They don't realize that they're his batteries.
Yeah. That's actually the only thing.
They're the liberal tears that get harvested that make conservatives want to vote for him. And they don't get it. They don't get it.
It'll be funny. I hope 2024 is good, okay? And don't worry. I'm going to be in the third party area, middle ground, looking at both Democrats and Republicans tearing each other apart. Because that's where you really want. If you're a cool person, if you want to be a critical thinking person, be independent, be third party. Daniel, any other final words?
That's it.
All right, with that being said, folks, one final word for this. It's so funny to see Fox News do this kind of reporting because you know for a fact they're wondering, did our plan work? Did they fall for it? And probably the answer is yeah.
Fox News is also just like NBC, like, hey, we don't have like a Trump person to yell at. He's like, what are you going to do about Biden? So they just have like a little group of people that they go back to, and Newsom, Kamala are them. So they would really like them to not run out of the spotlight.